Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening. Welcome to the Trucker Nate podcast this evening. Of course, my son Hunter said hi. He's waving to you.
Yeah. Let me get a little closer.
Okay. Alright, sorry I haven't been on Rumble in a while. I'm having problems with sound here lately. I think I finally got it figured out, though, so let's get right on into the news here. News I want to share with you today is coming out of SpotlightPA.com, or .org, excuse me. I've already shared them on my locals page, betruckernate.locals.com. Again, the articles are free, I don't charge. Spotlight PA does ask for donations every once in a while just so they can keep doing what they're doing, which I can understand that and appreciate it. And sorry I haven't been on here sooner. I think I'm going to just do once or twice a week because work related, and Munson's going to be off school now after this week. Excuse me. And we'll go from there. Alright, first story up today. Shapiro won't share daily calendar, a departure from previous PA governor's transparency. I'm sorry, but I think this is a problem, because what do you have to hide? Now, I understand personal business is personal business, but when it comes to something related to the state, why would you hide it? What is there to hide? What do you not want us to know about that you're doing behind closed doors? From the piece, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro is declining to make public his daily calendar, a policy that obscures many of the details about who he meets with and what they discuss. Sounds kind of shady to me, just saying. The decision breaks from the practice of his predecessor and is the latest choice by the new governor to roll back a transparency measure. Pennsylvania's Office of Open Records, an independent state agency that settles right-to-know law disputes, recently ruled in Shapiro's favor and found he does not need to share details about his schedule. Which means they probably woke people in place that don't care about your rights. In response to a request for comment, Shapiro's spokesperson Manuel Bonder wrote that the office releases the governor's public schedule directly to reporters every day, and that Shapiro regularly visits communities all across Pennsylvania taking questions from reporters and constituents alike, and he will continue to be accessible to the people of the Commonwealth. Now that doesn't make any sense, because he just said that he's not going to share information. He's going to be secretive. He basically just sat there and talked just that in the last paragraph. And now hear the spokesperson saying something completely different. So in other words, they're going to pick and choose what they let you know, and you're just going to have to deal with it. They don't care what the people want, even though without us, they're not getting a paycheck. Keep that in mind, fellow Pennsylvanians. The best way to get our country back is to start local. Start with your own community. That's how you build a strong community. You get to know your neighbors, you get to know them well, you build relationships, bonds. It's a ripple effect. Start small and eventually it ripples out. And eventually we can affect everything. Now we're making some big plays here. There's also been some dumb plays made. McCarthy letting Biden have raising the debt ceiling to whatever he wants is one of the stupid plays. Yeah, let's just lower our money value even further. Anyway, Bonder added that the office is following relevant open records rulings and will continue to balance personal safety and security with a high level of transparency. Calendars that go beyond the public schedule can offer a window into officials' work priorities and close allies. They typically show which staffers, lawmakers, and non-government figures meet with the governor, when those meetings occur, and in varying levels of detail what is discussed. Well, I think it should be. We should have access to all that. We don't know if you're doing backdoor deals, doing shady stuff behind our backs. 9 times out of 10, it's within your best interests, not the people. You don't care one bit about us. You're showing that right now. You better get your stuff together, Shapiro. Again, that's spotlightpa.org. And the title of this piece is Shapiro Won't Share Daily Calendar, a Departure from Previous PA Governor's Transparency. And they're going to have one more out of Spotlight. And then we're going to do Genesis 3, Chapter 3 for you guys today. Again, all my references are available at truckernate.locals.com. I'll have the links to the articles in there. This one's titled Secret Meetings by Board Overseeing PA's $1 billion in opioid settlements Draw Criticism. There's a video that goes with this, but it's 52. Make sure that it's not playing on you there. No, I don't hear any playing, so we're good there. Okay. That's going to be a 53-minute long video we round up around here too. And they'll pretty much go over everything that Tom Van Kirk leads a board with power over a vast amount of money. As the story what the story was reading. That's how it starts. The Pennsylvania Opioid Misuse and Addiction Abatement Trust is responsible for ensuring counties and other local governments appropriately spend hundreds of millions of dollars expected to come their way from settlements with opioid companies. That money is intended to help Pennsylvania respond to a crisis that kills thousands of people annually in the state. When Van Kirk and his fellow board members first met publicly in late March, he told the audience they intended to be as transparent as possible. Obviously, that was a lie. But before that public meeting, the trust had met in secret for months. Board members selected a bank to administer the funds, discussed how counties are allowed to spend money, and waived a requirement for counties to file spending reports with the trust this year. You're going to have to come up with a new name for trust, because these people don't know the meaning of the word trust. They haven't earned trust. They don't deserve our trust. We need to put a stop to this. Almost time to put boots in asses. Pardon my language. All of that and more was done outside of the public view, even though the court order creating the trust requires it to operate under Pennsylvania's Sunshine Act. That law was limited, with limited exceptions, requires official actions and deliberations by a quorum of members of public agencies to take place at public meetings. In other words, they just went ahead and did it, didn't tell nobody about it, and they don't care what your feelings are on the subject. That's how that's playing out. And let's see here. Which ones? Yeah. I ain't gonna push no buttons today. Although I should. Yeah, screw it. Yeah. And while trust members began holding public meetings in late March, they continued to operate in ways that are less transparent than what is standard practice for school boards, municipal leaders, and even several independent state boards. The trust and its administrators have also withheld documents, including ones related to hiring outside entities from the public for weeks and months after votes. We need to fix this. Terry Muchler, an attorney and former executive director of the state's Office of Open Records, said that given the trust's mission, it should err on the side of transparency. No, it should be even more transparent because this is Pennsylvania's money. Just because they were entrusted with it does not mean that they have free reign. They better get themselves together. Again, that's going to be on my locals page, truckernate.locals.com, if you want to read the article yourself, or go directly to spotlightpa.org. That's all I had for those two. Tomorrow, I'll be going over a couple more news. I'll be doing it earlier this time tomorrow. I don't have to work. Just have to drop my son off school. Tomorrow's going to be his last day. So, alright. This is from the Old Testament still. Genesis 3, chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast on the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day of ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? The man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skins, and clothed them. And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, and to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. That's the end of chapter 3. Tomorrow when I get on here, see you guys again, I'll read to you the book of Genesis 4, chapter 4, and we will end it there for today. That's all I had for you this evening. I hope you guys enjoy your Thursday, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care.